sponsored by Rapid Radios. Padres got a big win last night over the Cincinnati Reds. It's a trailing from down 3-0, come back to win in extras with a walk-off from Fernando Tatis Jr. They'll be back tonight. Padres currently minus 190 on the money line. Zach Little will be going for the Reds, while Michael King making his re-debut for the Padres. In JJ McCarthy and the Vikings were able to come back on the Bears and Caleb Williams to get a win last night. Rapid Radio is your instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
No fluff, just facts.
Walk-off magic at Petco. Keeping pace with the Dodgers. The Monday night game, just another classic for week one.
Thielen in motion. McCarthy keeps. He's got it. And forces his way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Plus,
Everything I tried, lost. Everything I thought was going to happen, didn't happen outside of the Cardinals winning that game against the Saints, which was huge.
I'm smart and I want the steak.
I went 0 for 3 on straight bets.
For some reason, I thought Miami was going to cover the spread. That did not happen.
Nothing like that at all.
At the Lions money line, that was not kind to us.
Here's the snap to Love. Throws right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Jaden Reed.
And the Ravens, I was like, oh, beautiful. We're going to cash this. That did not come through.
Oh, I'm a failure because I haven't got a brain.
we talk about it all in the Fletch Zone.
Sammy the Scarecrow. I love it. It's San Diego Sports 760. It is the Fletch Zone. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then as we continue to lick our wounds of opening week of NFL action, which let's just a quick round of applause. Week 1, primetime games, 4 for 4. NFL, well done, schedule makers.
I'm 3 for 4.
What are you talking about?
The Friday night game wasn't that great.
No, the Friday night game was awesome for everybody not named Sammy Long. 4 for 4 on the NFL opening week primetime games. That was a lot of fun for everybody involved outside of Sammy Long, who cried a lot on Friday night. But as we move forward into this season, the hope is that this continues, that every standalone primetime game is going to be a winner, and we don't get any sort of Colts-Broncos action circa 2022, because that was one of the worst games in recent memory. But as we move forward, I got a lot of high hopes for this NFL season. Week 1, a lot of fun, not super easy on the wallet, but really fun to watch. As we move forward into week 2, hopefully, I don't know, Sammy and I get on a little bit of a hot streak because last week wasn't great to us. Padres get a win last night. Only damper on that news is the Dodgers also won, even though the Dodgers also gave up another no-hitter late in this one. This time it would have been a combined no-no between the starting pitcher and the bullpen staff. Glasnow started it. When did he come out, Sammy, in the 7th inning?
After the 7th. That was really due to injury concerns. They weren't going to push him. But yeah, Tanner Scott forgot how to pitch, man.
Have you seen the South Park meme that's been going around San Diego Padres Twitter and Dodgers Twitter? The South Park scene where the two schools are trying equally hard to lose the game so they could both go home to play video games.
That does seem like what it feels like.
Kind of exactly what it's like between the Dodgers and the Padres. They both win or they both lose every single time. But what's funny is Tanner Scott in this meme, I believe it was created by a Dodgers fan, was playing for the San Diego Padres because he continuously F's things up for the Dodgers.
Do you know what he said on Saturday after he gave up the no-hitter? He's like, baseball hates me right now.
Baseball does. But baseball looked pretty good for the Padres last night, who look Lodolo, the starting pitcher for the Reds, kind of had his way with this lineup. Jackson Merrill was quoted after the game saying that was about the best pitching performance we've faced against all season, which I kind of hate that as an excuse because heading into the postseason, you're going to see some pretty good starting pitchers. But he really did dominate every Padre not named Gavin Sheets last night. But the Padres are patient. They waited. And like a lot of their wins this year, they did it against the bullpen of the Cincinnati Reds. And it was Fernando Tatis Jr. who came up in a big moment. We got shirtless Fernando last night. So I think that means winning streak.
I was watching the wrap-up show with John and Jim, and it was hilarious to me. The Mike Schild hug that lasted a very long time.
It was a long hug.
There's a lot going on there. And Jim Russell pointed out it's all over his Twitter.
I had the Padres on the iPad last night. I had the NFL game on the big TV, and it stayed on the iPad when we went to bed. And I was watching, and I thought about saying something about the long hug, but I literally thought to myself, Jim Russell's going to be all over the long hug.
Yeah, Jim's first, all that.
Glad he was.
Last night, in terms of the win, it was a big win because you're sitting there when it's 3-0 going, are you kidding me? They're going to lose to the Cincinnati Reds back at home, kind of killing any momentum you had over the weekend. Beating the Rockies, which is great, 2-3, but the Rockies are a terrible team. And that really did feel like vintage Padres last night. The Reds came out on fire. They had a 3-0 lead, and then the Padres just kind of battled Jackson Merrill with that huge hit there, to tie the game. And then when it felt like it was going to the extras, that's like what the Padres need to do. The bullpen shuts it down from here on out. You're not getting to them. And then, and then even Suarez being able to pitch into that 10th inning a little bit. Matsui coming, or not Matsui, who am I blanking on, came in. Wandy Peralta came in and got that last out. So it was that's a big win right there, especially considering how the Padres and the Dodgers had both been free falling. And I don't think you've ever really thought the playoffs were in doubt, but considering how well the Giants have been playing and then the Reds to lose this series, if the Padres can just pick off one more, I think it's pretty safe that the Reds are not going to be able to catch them in this wild card race.
They could have been in doubt if the Padres lost last night, but no, they didn't. They win. The Dodgers also win. Padres still 1 game back of the Dodgers. Tiebreaker situation makes it so it's more like 2 games back of the Dodgers, but it's still very much in reach with 18 games left. Sammy, don't mess anything up right now. We got a new listener. His name is Caesar.
Why is this my fault?
Because you're about to hit the imaging for the big 3, but Caesar is here. This is his first time trying us out. Caesar, hi.
Caesar, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in.
My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. We're on the air every day from noon to 2.
949 on the text line is talking mess. It's Sammy is salty because he does not know ball. This is the Charger fan that is texting into 949, and I just want to say to all the Charger fans that have been in my DMs over the weekend, and I'm a Chiefs fan, have your parade. Have your parade right now, because if you hate the Chargers because maybe they left and you're like they're dead to you, maybe you're a closet Chargers fan.
Sammy, we don't have time for your vendetta against Chargers
I'm just
fans
saying,
right now.
the fall is coming, and I will be there. 949.
I was watching Rich Eisen. He was interviewing Chris Long, who a respected son of Howie Long, who played in the NFL for many years, and Chris Long basically laid out in very detailed fashion why the Chiefs Super Bowl window is shut with this current iteration.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, Sammy. You're just going to have to be okay with not making it to a Super Bowl this year. Congratulations.
Well, we're going to get to your Niners quick
One
here
out
in a
of
second.
every 10. Let's get to the big 3. Sammy rips through the top stories in the sports world every single day at the top of the show and at the bottom of the show. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
If you would like to watch the show, a couple ways for you to do so. On X at Fletch and Sammy, find us there. Give us a follow on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. Subscribe to that one. It stays live from 2 or noon to 6 every single day. Sammy, where are we starting?
There's a few texts rolling in that we're going to get to about your Niners, Fletch, but we're going to save that. We're going to go to Monday Night Football last night. Amazing game. Really, personally, I don't think I've ever seen a game flip on a dime like that from a quarterback with J.J. McCarthy the first 3 quarters, who looked like he could literally not read a defense, to then look amazing, and the Bears offense is sitting there anemic. What was more impressive, J.J. McCarthy leading the comeback or Caleb Williams' disappointing performance last night with Ben Johnson?
Look, last night's game, pretty simple to break down. Caleb looked really, really good to start, and the Ben Johnson experience with the Chicago Bears looked awesome to start. That opening drive, Caleb Williams was perfect throwing the ball. He finishes it with a touchdown run. I was like, oh, maybe Sammy was right about these Chicago Bears. Maybe they are the team that goes from worst to first this year. But then Minnesota's defense figured it out, and Caleb had a real rough time. Essentially, halfway through the second quarter on, Caleb Williams really, really struggled with Minnesota's defense. And I think that a lot of the credit should go to Ben Johnson for a great game plan, a great script. But once it was back on Caleb, unfortunately, and I don't want to be a hater on this guy, but a lot of his old tendencies came back. He is too quick to vacate the pocket. He doesn't have the most accurate arm, especially down the field. I counted 2 bad misses yesterday that could have been touchdowns. One down the left sideline to DJ Moore, where he overthrew it and threw it kind of out of bounds. DJ Moore had a touchdown. And there was another one up the middle. Who was that one too, Sammy? We were talking about
I believe it was to a Dunze that he missed over the middle, or Loveland. I can't remember which one. But
so, unfortunately, some of Caleb's old habits from last year that had a lot of people worried sort of came back last night. Now, J.J. McCarthy looked awful, looked like a bust for 3 quarters of this game. But then all of a sudden, and it only takes one, he got some help from Aaron Jones, who finally turned it on. Jordan Mason looked pretty good coming out of the backfield. He hits the pass to Justin Jefferson. who you could tell was just waiting to explode in this game, and finally does, gets the touchdown. All of a sudden, JJ's working with some confidence, find Aaron Jones on that patented wheel route for another touchdown, and then runs in a touchdown of his own. I was really impressed with JJ McCarthy because something clicked for him in that second half.
Yeah, well, shout out to JJ McCarthy. Kevin O'Connell certainly figured it out. I mean, the first half, he was just missing. He looks really nervous. And this, to be fair to him, he didn't play all last year. The last time he had played was the national championship against Washington 2 years ago, and he's with Michigan.
And he grew up in Chicago, and he was playing in Chicago.
I was kind of surprised that O'Connell didn't really play them more in the preseason. You thought that JJ McCarthy would be a guy you really wanted to get a lot of reps there. So kudos to them for coming back. It did feel like the Bears just let them hang around, and it was odd when they got the pick six. You're like, it's 17-6, but you're like, this game's over, and then the offense wasn't doing anything. Listen, I've been a massive Caleb Williams supporter, and I still am. I'm not out on him yet, but last night was not a very good performance. He did miss some multiple throws downfield. Ben Johnson, the script early, had it working, and then it got off script, and he did this at USC, and he was unbelievable at USC because he's just better than everyone on the field, but this is the NFL now. He keeps doing the loop thing where he, if anyone gets through the line, he just immediately evades the pocket, is running for his life, and is not getting through progressions. Listen, it's week one. It's a new coordinator. It's a new head coach. So I'm not going to destroy Caleb yet, but that was disappointing. I was looking for the Bears to win that game, and it's not a great look that McCarthy, who hasn't played in 2 years, did outplay Caleb Williams in that game with a couple big misses for him.
Your boy Nick Wright, who you love, I know he's also a Chiefs enthusiast, kind of blowhard, but Nick Wright talks about Caleb Williams' pocket presence and how he's not sure he can entirely read defenses yet. And I hate to say, but we kind of saw it last night once again. Not to say it can't get better. Look, it's one game with Ben Johnson, and that script did work, like we both said. So moving forward, I think this is going to be a huge improvement for Caleb Williams, and the Bears were better than I thought they'd be, but kind of disappointing second through fourth quarters for Caleb.
All right, we're heading to boxing. Canelo Crawford fight week is here. Super fight Saturday night going down in Allegiant. Where does this rank among super fights in the previous decades, maybe this millennium? And what super fight, since it's super fight week, were you most excited for, whether it's UFC or boxing leading up to it?
In terms of boxing, the final, or maybe the second Fury Wilder fight was pretty hyped, and it delivered. Like Fury being what looked like dead on the ground to come back to win that thing was one of the cooler moments I've watched in boxing history. So of the last decade, that's probably the most hyped one, I would say. This is up there, man. You're talking about two legacy builders, two of the top boxers in the world right now. The Triple G Canelo fights were huge also, but this one,
fantastic.
This feels big, and I can't wait for it. I'm glad it's free for everybody. It's on Netflix, yeah?
Yeah, free on Netflix. You got Netflix. It's going to be Saturday night.
This is going to be fun. UFC, though, is anything ever going to top Conor McGregor fights, no matter who it was against? Tito, right? He was Tito Ortiz, right?
No, he didn't fight Tito. Tito Ortiz, yeah, and Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz.
Who am I thinking of with Conor? The dude he knocked out in like 2 seconds. No.
Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo fights. Those were pretty hyped, but Conor fights were always top bill.
Yeah, Conor in the UFC sold itself. Remember that Khabib Conor fight? Even though I was disappointed, I was pulling for McGregor. That was a big fight. In boxing, this is like this outside of Mayweather McGregor was a shtick. That wasn't a real fight. No one really expected, if anyone knew anything about fighting, that McGregor was actually going to be able to catch Mayweather. He's one of the greatest defensive fighters there's ever been, if not the greatest defensive fighter. To think that he was going to come in there in his first boxing match and knock him out was crazy. Mayweather-Pacquiao was excellent. The fight was a dud. It was disappointing because that fight happened 4 years too late. Mayweather didn't want to fight him in 2011. That was when Manny Pacquiao had knocked out Ricky Hatton. He destroyed Oscar De La Hoya. He was on a tear, and Mayweather wanted no part of it. Kind of waited till his hand speed got lower in 2015 and beat him. This fight is fantastic. Canelo, number one or top pound for pound fighter in the world. And then you have Terrence Crawford, who at 147 2 years ago destroyed Errol Spence for all the belts, who was another top fighter. He's moving up 2 weight divisions from 154 to 168. And the question with Canelo is, the question with Crawford is, can he hurt Canelo? Is he going to be able to take Canelo's shots? And then the question for Canelo is, he hasn't really fought the top competition in recent years. He has in years past. He fought Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara, Floyd Mayweather. But we're going to see if his foot speed's still there, because the last couple fights have been underwhelming. He hasn't knocked anyone out in 6 fights. So this one's going to be fun. If you're a casual boxing fan, you're just tuning in, I highly recommend Saturday night. It's gonna be electric.
The one thing we know is Netflix knocks it out of the park with the production stuff. Like every fight they've hosted has looked incredible. The fights just haven't been that good outside of the two ladies who did what were before.
Serrano and Taylor.
Yeah, right before Tyson and Jake Paul. That was one of the better women's boxing fights I've ever seen. So Netflix makes it look good, and hopefully this is a good fight as well. We're gonna take a quick break. I know you're dying to talk about my Niners. We can
the Padres. We're gonna get to a Padres story on the other side.
Perfect. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. And by the way, Billy Idol, Joan Jett tickets to give away in hour number 1 today. Keep listening. Kevin Acee at 1:30. Stay tuned. Padres next. The iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. Live performances from Bryan Adams, The Offspring, Tim McGraw, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Sammy Hagar, and more. September 19th and 20th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Buy tickets now at AXS.com. Get them now before they sell out. All the info at sportsSD.com/festival. We love it when you text the show. Love interacting with y'all. 70470. Start your message with team. Text the show all day long. We'll get to as many of them as we possibly can. Kevin Acee coming up at 1:30. 949 texts in and says Sammy is salty because he does not know ball. Sammy knows ball. He knows all about balls.
Let's read 858's text. I'm with you, Sammy. Wife made me go to our son's high school game on Friday.
Your wife made you go to your son's high school game. Hopefully your son's not in the car with you right now because that's kind of rude.
I'm glad. Well, I'd rather watch NFL football too. Come on.
Than your own son's high school football game?
100%. I'm glad I did. This is what 858's saying. It's not disrespect. By the way, real quick.
Your kid has a game. You go to your kid's game. I
played high school basketball for Rancho Bernardo. The Chiefs played the Chargers on a Saturday night one time, and I literally left the game. I was like, I'm not going to remember this game in 20 years. What I will remember is Chiefs Chargers.
What in the world? Was that the one where Phillip Rivers hit Mike Williams in the end zone to win the game?
No, we won that one. That was Tyreek Palm. He said, I'm glad I did. That might've been the most boring game of the week. Ben, oh no, San Fran's in more trouble than a submarine in the sky.
I don't know if it's that dramatic. Submarine in the sky just means death. But the 49ers, I don't think are in death right now. In fact, they got better today. They released Jake Moody.
Okay. Well, we can go with that.
George Kittle's on the IR, 4 weeks out.
747 says Mayweather never fought anyone in their prime. That's great management. When I was 30, I challenged every 8-year-old in the schoolyard. 20 years later, I love my couch.
Dude, Floyd Mayweather made himself a ton of money. He spent a lot of money, but he made himself a ton of money and will continue to do so. Didn't he just announce a new fight? He's fighting against Mike Tyson.
Yeah, well, that's a joke. That's not even like a real fight.
Cash like 50 mil because of it. So
Mayweather did manage his career very well, where he did not ever face guys in their prime. He got Canelo when he was too young, knowing that Canelo couldn't beat him. Pacquiao too late. Mayweather's a great fighter, but there's a lot of holes you can poke in that resume.
Look, I feel like you're taking some jabs at the Niners today because you're sad about how the Chiefs looked. Or is it okay? Hurt people hurt people.
No, you're just chirping a lot, and the text line wanted to check you for it.
I don't think I'm chirping at all. Look, I'm a depressed Niner fan like the rest of them.
Good.
This is a rough time. Brock Purdy's hurt. George Kittle's on the IR. That's 2 of our most important pieces right there. But Christian McCaffrey survived week 1, even though they're going to run him to his death. Trent Williams had a scare. Fred Warner had a scare, but they're all healthy. I'm actually surprised at how healthy they were coming out of that game, which is sad and depressing, like the Niners season.
Okay.
But Jake Moody getting the hell out of there, stoked about that. Worst 3rd-round draft pick maybe in NFL history.
Okay.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan don't have jobs if Brock Purdy didn't save their asses.
Okay. On to something else. Padres.
So, yeah, Sammy, you sent me this article on ESPN, and I don't love the way it's written, if I'm being honest. David Schoenfield wrote this article, who is a ESPN reporter on Major League Baseball. Now, he covers all 30 teams, so it's a little tricky when you do these real or not articles about each of the 30 teams, because there's no way you're sitting down and watching every single baseball game every single day. But let's get into it a little bit. So some of the teams that he says are capable of winning a World Series, Sammy.
Well, he had Milwaukee as the favorite. He had the Dodgers in there. He had the Phillies. He basically went through every team that they think are going to make the postseason. And he did a thing where he wrote a statement. Like for the Dodgers, it was the bullpen will keep them from winning a World Series. And then he put real or not real. And then he ended up putting not real for that. For the Padres, he went kind of like Milwaukee, that the Padres don't hit enough home runs to win a World Series. And he ended up putting real for that. And basically went on to say in the article, talking about how they do have a way out of it, but it means Machado and Tatis both have to return to prime selves. It can't just be one of them, because historically, if you're a Brewers fan or you're a Padres fan, it isn't great with the lack of home runs. Now you could flip it on around and go that the Padres do have a lot of power in the lineup, and you think in the postseason maybe it'll show up. Like the Dodgers only live off home runs, so you could look at that as a negative, the fact that they can't bat it around the base pass, and maybe they go cold in the postseason. But I think it is a fair argument. The home run ball has to be there, and we get Petco's a tough place to hit home runs, especially late at night when the marine layer comes in. But in the postseason, you're going to have to get the ball out of the yard, considering you're probably not batting guys around the bases with such elite pitching on the other side.
Now, the Padres have been good at winning close games this year by playing small ball, and they've had to rely on it. Hell, they relied on it last night. That was a pretty vintage 2025 Padres win last night when Fernando Tatis Jr. hit the sack fly to win the game. I love it when people call that a walk-off. Technically it is, I guess, but it's not a walk-off blast. It's a walk-off bloop. But he's absolutely right in the fact that if the Padres don't hit home runs, there's no way to possibly see them getting through 3 rounds of postseason and then a World Series when these are elongated series. Like there's just no shot without more power in this team, no matter how good your bullpen is. Bullpens are only good if they're playing with a lead. So for the Padres, some early inning power is much needed, and it does fall on Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado.
Well, that's what's weird. It's like you look at, so this is a problem for the Brewers.
Well, if they combined 43 home runs this year between those two guys,
right?
Fernando should be doing that by himself.
Right. That's unacceptable.
Manny should be hitting 35 by himself.
You look at the Brewers, who this is a problem for. People look at, even though the Brewers have been, I mean, to be fair to them, the best team in baseball the last few months. I really don't think it's been close. They've been excellent against elite competition. But you look at their depth chart, their lineup, and outside of Christian Yelich, who's a big name, who isn't even the best player on their team, he's batting in the 4th hole. You look at it, and you would be a little concerned in the postseason going, do they have the talent to do that? When you look at the Padres lineup, Tatis is a big star with a lot of power. Machado, Merrill, like there's guy outside of take Luis Ariz out of it. Ramon Laureano's been saving this team the last month with his power. So that's why it's kind of frustrating sometimes with the Padres, because you look at the lineup and know that these guys have power. They just haven't shown it over the way. It's nice to know that they have it because maybe they pick it up in the postseason. But obviously the postseason's here in about 2.5 weeks, so they don't have much time to waste.
I can't believe you bounced on one of your high school basketball games to watch a Chiefs game.
Well, I went to the game because unfortunately,
but you were playing in the game,
yeah, and
you left.
Well, yeah, they wanted to do a whole post-game speech. I was like, this is nonsense. I don't even play anyway. I was like, I ride the bench. I remember my coach made a whole thing. He's like, if you're not here locked in, you won't play. I go, Coach, I don't even play anyway. So why am I going to miss the Chiefs game to hear you babble about how terrible we are? Like, come on, man.
858 said that guy that skipped his own son's high school game for the NFL is a loser.
He didn't skip his game. He said his wife made him go.
But I am going to call questioning the fact that you want to, unless your son rides the bench, then I guess it's okay.
Dude, my dad came to my game in that, and he's just as big a Chiefs fan as me and my mom. And I was like, stay home. Like, I do not take this person. I don't want to be here. I don't want to play. I don't care about high school sports. I'm like, I want to watch. There's very few things I love more in this life than Kansas City Chiefs football. Very few things.
I mean, I get that. I do wonder if your perspective on things change once you, I don't know, get married.
Oh, God.
Have some kids.
It's always the life outlook with you.
Yeah, Sammy's whole thing is like family last. Everything else comes first.
Remember, never put family first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense and very relatable to everyone listening right now. It's San Diego Sports 760. Quick break here. Tell your kids you love them, folks. Maybe send a text message to your mom. Tell her you love her because family should come first. It is San Diego Sports 760. Coming up on the other side, we are going to give away some Billy Idol and Joan Jett tickets. You don't want to miss this. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Discover. Padres back tonight for Game 2 against the Cincinnati Reds. That game will be at 6:40. Padres currently minus 190 on the money line. Zach Little will be going for the Reds. Well, Michael King will be making his first start in a while for the Pods. And Ben Simmons, former #1 overall pick, has been dropped by his agent after declining a contract with the New York Knicks. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face the facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. It feels like we're all still running off a high of what happened in the NFL. 4 for 4 on primetime games. I know Sammy didn't like the Friday night game, but everyone else did. It was a really good slate of primetimes, and then there were a couple of really great games in the regular windows on Sunday as well. But last night, I don't think I fully grasped watching that game how big what JJ McCarthy did in the fourth quarter was, but the history behind it, if you're curious, he became the first quarterback in NFL history to account for 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter of his NFL debut. He joined Steve Young as the only other quarterback in the past 45 years to overcome a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter of their debut to win. Obviously, Minnesota fan base is on fire right now. My brother-in-law is a diehard Vikings fan. He was texting me all night last night. It was honestly kind of annoying, Dave. But JJ McCarthy had 48 yards in the first half. Late in the third quarter, the Bears had a 94% win probability, and JJ McCarthy somehow came back to win that game. That was pretty freaking cool for I guess not rookie, but kind of rookie in JJ McCarthy.
Well, it's pretty impressive considering how he hasn't played. Like he literally, and the knock on him coming out of college, even though he won a national championship with Michigan, was that they didn't use him. Like it was that whole team was based on defense,
handoff merchant, screen pass merchant,
right? Like so, he cooked Ohio State a couple times. That's what really put him on the map. They went in Ohio State as dogs. I believe he had like 3 passing touchdowns, and they were all bombs, but they all came off play actions. People thought they're like, this guy has to play ahead of the chains, allows a great defense to kind of win it for him. That's what's so impressive because the first half you're looking at, you're like, he can't read a defense, and he looks like scared, and then like this is a problem. And what did Kevin O'Connell do? Not playing him in the preseason, completely settled down. The Bears had this weird sense of felt like it looked like they felt they were going to win the game.
I think they got the pick 6, and then the confidence was just over the top, and they tried to just coast the rest of the way. Well, if you coast in the NFL, you're going to get burnt.
Like look at the Ravens and the Bills.
Yeah,
like look at that game. You looked at the Ravens dominated that whole game for 3 quarters, 3.5, and then they looks like they kind of fell asleep. They missed that extra point, and the rest is history. The Bills come back to win. It did feel like the Bears for some reason took their foot off the gas, and I don't think the Bears have earned the right to be doing that.
Last night says a lot about Kevin O'Connell as well, who as of today, he is being crowned the new quarterback whisperer because of what he did with Sam Darnold a year ago. And if you watched Sam Darnold against the Niners this past weekend, it's not like he looked like anything special. But Sam Darnold a year ago was in the MVP race until around week 14, maybe even leading the MVP race until around week 14. And then JJ McCarthy, at least his second half, his fourth quarter yesterday, looked incredible as well. All right, in the NFL, the primetime games we've mentioned a couple times were incredible this past weekend. Have you seen the ones we have coming up next weekend?
Yeah, the Thursday night game is going to be excellent.
Thursday night, Commanders, Packers. Sunday night football is going to be Falcons, Vikings, which after last night, it's a game I'm pretty excited for. Penix versus JJ McCarthy.
I can't believe the Falcons are 4.5-point dogs in that game.
Oh, you like that money?
I really like plus 4.5 with them.
You like the Falcons there, even after JJ McCarthy has just been crowned the MVP for this year?
The Falcons looked really good week 1. I know they lost Tampa Bay, but I'm very high on the Falcons.
How about the Falcons week 1 play like 3 50-yard touchdown Bijan Robinson?
Yeah.
Fantasy managers had to be going nuts after that. Monday night, there's 2 games this week. So I know this used to be a really big deal here in San Diego, but it is Raider week. If there's any Charger fans left over, Chargers, Raiders, Monday night, 7:00. The earlier game is Bucks, Texans. All of these awesome primetime games.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for. I mean, we just have NFL football back; it's the best. But yeah, the NFL has certainly done a good job of scheduling these games. And one thing I thought was interesting from week 1, like that added to it, was the whole kickoff thing. Like the NFL kickoffs, so they had a return rate of week 1 of all the games of 75.6%. The last time they had a return rate in the NFL on kickoffs of over 50% was 2010. That's week 1 of 2010. It's cool. I like what they've done. Like last year, I think you saw the kickoff where everyone starts on the 35-yard line. And it was kind of funky. I feel like people didn't really get it. It was kind of like teams weren't really breaking big runs. And now it's like even the Chiefs-Charger game, like you saw it. Like the Chiefs booted out of the back of the end zone a few times and it hurt them. It took it to the 35. I like that now there's like skill to it. Now you want to kick it in, it where it lands in, so guys have to return it so you can get down there and make a tackle. I think it adds a whole nother dimension to special teams. And I actually am kind of high on the kickoff now where I wasn't necessarily a year ago.
So you've seen a lot change with the kickoff because they moved the touchback from the 30-yard line to the 35. And that makes a big difference. When you're talking about a game of inches, if you're taking a whole 10 yards, well, it used to be the 20. So you're taking a whole 15 yards out of play every single time. If it's a touchback, yeah, I'd be kicking it all the way too and making guys return it. And so what you've seen is actually a change in the trajectory of the kick as well, because guys are starting further up and they have to wait until contact is made with the football anyways. Kickers are now trying to hit like low sinking line drives to try to make some sort of drop on the other end that are going to land in that landing zone. And so it feels like there's just more momentum going every single way, where the player's catching it and just bolting right away. And it's right. I mean, it's led to a ton of huge plays on kickoffs where guys are getting hit like crazy anyways, which is what the NFL's trying to avoid.
Look at what they were trying to attempt last night. Cairo Santos tried to kick that ball at the back of the end zone because it was 2:02 left in the game. They wanted that 2-minute warning. Like it's fun for, I think, the NFL that we're having kickoff returns, because I get it. There was a lot of injuries on kickoffs, guys running full steam ahead and just destroying people when they got down on big tackles. But it's fun that's a big element of a game. And in special teams doesn't get talked about a lot because people look at the offense or the defense and the quarterback play. But good special teams with good special teams typically are playing late in the year. And I think it's fun because we're going to start to see throughout the year, like maybe we're going to see chip blocks. Maybe we're going to see like different schemes for how to break guys. It feels like the kickoffs has really added a dimension to the game. And I'm just excited to see how it progresses throughout the season and kind of if the kickoff return rate continues at a 75% clip, maybe that's teams trying it out week 1, but we'll see going forward.
Yeah. The NFL, Roger Goodell had to be, what's the right way to say this? Their pants a little more full after week 1, game 1, second one. There was an injury on one of the kickoffs, but it is supposed to be safer. There is supposed to be less high contact collisions, and we'll see how it works. I will say a lot of people hate the new kickoff. They hate the way it's lined up. They say it doesn't look like football. I actually kind of really enjoy it. If you disagree, hit us on the text line 70470. Start your message with team. Now, Sammy's one of his favorites. His name is Stephen A. Smith. He works for ESPN. Perhaps you've heard of him. He's mulling a future presidential run, perhaps. I can't help but notice, Sammy, in Stephen A's top 5 after week 1, the Chiefs are nowhere to be found. In fact, and where the Chiefs probably should go, right at that number 5.
They shouldn't be after week 1.
Eagles, Bills, Packers, Ravens, Chargers sneaking into that number 5 spot after one game in Brazil, neutral site game, a 1 touchdown game. You think the Chiefs should be supplanted by the Chargers at this point?
Well, it's after week 1. If you've watched the segment before, it's a fluid list. Yeah, the Chiefs lost.
Top 5 NFL teams.
Why should they be in the top 5 when they lost this week?
Because they're still a top 5 team in the NFL in my mind. Are they not in yours?
I think.
Do you not still have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl?
Down the stretch in the year, we will see that they are a top 5 team. But right now, they got to take their lumps. They didn't play well on Friday night. I don't make excuses for my team, unlike Fletch. But
what excuses have I made?
No, we're just.
Niners won. I don't have to make any excuses.
No, we're just. I think it's a fair list. He's got the Eagles 1, Bills 2, Packers 3, Ravens 4, Chargers 5. I think that's very fair. I think all those teams played really well. The Ravens, despite the loss, looks like they should have won that game. So I have no problem with them being on that top 5 list. But yeah, I think after week 1, that's a fair list.
I would change that list up. I would go 1 Bills, 2 Ravens, 3 Eagles, 4 Packers, 5 Chiefs.
Okay.
You're welcome. See how generous I am?
The Ben Fletcher guarantee.
That's what it is, man. Speaking of which, if you have any help for us on the text line, we'd love to hear it. We don't know who we're picking in week 2 for our Circus Survivor.
It's a real problem.
We got a lot of names floating around, but there's a ton of really good games. So we were initially thinking about maybe picking the Niners this week because they're playing against the Saints, and that worked pretty well for us last week. However, now there's Brock Purdy injury news, George Kittle injury news. We don't know what the deal is going to be with any of the defensive guys who got injured. A little nervous about the Niners now. So are we going Cowboys? Have you put any more thought into this?
Texas 70470. Start your message with team. We're in a Circus Survivor pool where we have to pick a winner. We don't have to worry about the spread each week.
us becoming millionaires relies upon this.
So give us your if your life depended on a game this weekend and you just needed a money line, and we can't pick the Cardinals because we picked them last week,
and we can't pick the Chiefs or the Cowboys, right? Because those are teams that are playing on or no.
Well, that's the trick Circuit does. So on Thanksgiving games, in the Christmas games, those are weeks in and of itself. So if any of you are playing along with us, we've been talking about it for months, Circuit Survivor, you have to pick a team on those games or a team on those days. So you can't, if you burn all those teams, you're literally out by that week. So we need a money line. Like Baltimore feels safe to me, but it feels like a shame to burn Baltimore.
I wouldn't want to waste Baltimore this early either. I like the Rams over the Titans. I do like that.
Yeah. I think
might end up being the play, but they're in Tennessee. Titans look better than I thought they would.
I know the Titans actually gave the Broncos some problems on defense.
Rams offense didn't look great. So we'll see. Text us 70470. Start your message with team. We need a lock. We'll kind of keep that going throughout the week. Take a quick break here. On the other side, Sammy's going to make us some money. It's long shots. We do it every day at 12:45, where we create a daily fantasy lineup for you out there. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code Fletch. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on Prize Picks. It's good to be right, man. It was a fun weekend. If you were watching some football, guess what? Football is here now, but baseball's still going on. So we got long shots coming up next. That's where Sammy creates a lineup, and we use Prize Picks for that. So if you want to follow along, download the app right now. Use promo code Fletch. Get that $50 bonus so you can start playing along with us every single day. Your favorite players in football are ready for the season. They are already getting going. It's time for you to cash in on their stats. It's simple. Pick your favorite players, choose more than or less than on their stat projections, and boom, you've got action, which isn't easy to get here in California. Well, Prize Picks makes it easy. It's the best spot to get sports action here in California, and all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure with Venmo, Apple Pay, and more. I've done this many times, winning on a Sunday, have the money in my bank account by Monday morning, join the millions of people already playing, get a part of the billions of dollars already awarded. Use promo code Fletch when you sign up. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on Prize Picks. It's good to be right. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. This is the time of day we do a little something called long shots, and we will. But first, San Diego FC back on the pitch. Saturday night, they got Minnesota United at Snapdragon Stadium. You can hear the match live Saturday night beginning at 7 o'clock right here on San Diego Sports 760, your home for SDFC. And if you want to buy tickets, sandiegofc.com to head out to the match on Saturday night. Sammy, long shots not very nice to us last night. Who knew Aaron Jones wouldn't be involved in the run game?
I was disappointed in myself actually because I was going to pick Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason looked good.
And I thought, I was like, no, they're going to lean on the veteran.
You know what's crazy? Jordan Mason kind of looks like Aaron Jones used to look like.
He does.
Except he's a little bigger. He's got bigger legs. But Aaron Jones used to be able to run through the tackles like that, and he doesn't anymore. He's more used on gadget plays. But Jordan Mason kind of looked like Green Bay circa 2019 Aaron Jones.
Yeah, and I was like Rome. There were a couple misses there from Caleb. Excuse me.
Sammy's dying. What's going on? You take a bunch of Mucinex or something?
No, I'm trying to get over this cold, man. I can't get rid of it. It's pissing me off. But you know, we're battling.
You sound like Jim Russell 5 times a year because Jim's always sick somehow.
I don't know what happened. I was trying to figure out who got me sick, and I got a couple culprits. And there's some people walking around the station right now. I got my eye on.
You know, knock on wood, I haven't been sick in like 4 years. Since I got COVID the first time, I've not been sick.
Yeah, that was brutal. I remember getting that too.
Kind of amazing. Where are we going for? Oh wait, we haven't even played the open for long shots. You want to get right into it?
We got a lot of people. Again, text us 70470. Start your message with team. If you have your life is on the line this weekend in an NFL game and you just need a winner, you don't have to worry about the spread. None of that. You need a team to win for you. Who are you going with? And we cannot pick the Cardinals. We have a lot of text rolling in right now that we're going to get to right after long shots.
Yeah, I like these picks though. All right, Sammy, smash it.
Let's see. Underdogs? Nah, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, got it. It's time for Sammy's long shots.
We use Prize Picks for this. If you want to, you can.
We love Prize Picks.
I was just telling you about Prize Picks, but drop my name. Promo code Fletch gets you a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 entry.
The Fletcher special.
This could be that $5 entry for people. It's almost like we planned it like that. That's crazy.
We love it. We love it. Okay, so this is a rare. We have only baseball today. We've had a couple of weeks, a lot of U.S. Open action, which we were very successful with. We have the NFL, obviously, which we are picking. No college football tonight either. So back to kind of the summer. We need
some Wednesday action in our life.
Yes, we do. We do need some Wednesday action in our life. Okay, so I got a three-leg parlay. So we're gonna start with the Padres. We're gonna start with Michael King tonight. I think he's gonna have success, but we're gonna hold on. We're staying away from strikeouts. I don't want to mess with that. I don't like that because we don't know how he's going to be. Could they be getting a lot of pop-ups? How long is he going to play? That's what we're going with. 14.5 pitching outs, less than. He's got four starts to ramp up until the postseason. Now, you'd think that they might press him a little bit because he doesn't have a lot of time, but I think they're going to go with the opposite. Mike Schilt, big win last night. You cannot lose this guy. You cannot push it. If he's coming back from an injury, you have to be very safe with him tonight because the Padres desperately need him in the postseason because Nick Pivetta, as we've kind of been harping on for weeks, has really been the only guy that throughout the season you can look at and go, we trust him. We trust him to hand the ball to him and get us a win. Everyone else had problems. Yu Darvish has had issues. Dylan Cease had issues. Nestor Cortez has been an abject disaster the last couple of weeks. So Michael King needs to be that number 2. I think they take it light with him tonight. Less than 14.5 pitching outs. This does not mean he doesn't pitch well. It means that they save him from himself. Less than 14.5 pitching outs.
All right, literally the open to Kevin Acee's article from yesterday when they announced Michael King would be pitching tomorrow says this: Michael King is back in time to get himself ready for the postseason. That's the Padres' expectation. King's expectation is a little more immediate. I'm just trying to be that guy for however many games we've got left. You still think he's going to come out before the 5th inning?
I do.
Okay.
We're going to call Kevin Acee a liar in a cheat.
Well, that's a quote from Michael King.
We're kidding, Kevin Acee. He's on in 40 minutes. We love Kevin Acee. It's a joke. We're still going less than. Again, when the media goes one way, where do we go? Where does the public go, Fletch?
It's not the media. It's Michael King. That's his quote.
Okay, but Michael King's not pulling himself out of the game.
He says he's ready to be that dude.
With the bullpen the Padres have, he will not go more than 15 innings tonight. Okay?
Right, I believe you. Hashtag faith in Sammy.
Hashtag faith in Sammy. Everyone calm down. We got this. All right. Fun matchup, though, in the NL. The Mets, who've been playing a lot better baseball. Phillies, game 2. Phillies won a thriller last night, 1-0. Ranger Suarez been very kind to long shots over this season. Hasn't had the best last couple outings. Only 4 strikeouts against Milwaukee, 2 against Atlanta. The previous 2 before that, he had 11 against Washington, 10 against Seattle. But we're going to go back to him. We're going to go back to him. More than 5.5 pitch of strikeouts. I think he gets it done. Phillies, Mets, really tight series so far. And I think Ranger Suarez, he's a tricky pitcher to figure out, especially I know the Mets have seen him a few times, but he has had success against the Mets earlier this year. We're going to go more than 5.5 pitch of strikeouts because he has a lot of ample opportunity with that Phillies bullpen to because the Phillies bullpen has been really good all year, has had a few injuries lately, but thankfully for the Phillies, Duran, who they got from the Twins at the deadline, has been money. So it's kind of been starters, find a way to get to the bullpen, get to the closer. More than 5.5 pitch of strikeouts for Ranger Suarez. And then we're going to go, this is just a high number for me. Spencer Strider, I know he's an excellent pitcher for Atlanta, but the Cubs bats have really been getting it going recently. We're going to go less than 6 pitch of strikeouts for Spencer Strider. He's really been struggling the last few outings. 1 against Chicago last time out. 3 against Miami, 2 against the White Sox, 2 against the Mets. His last 6 outing was against Milwaukee, actually, way back on the 6th of September. I think Strider has a rough outing. 6 pitch of strikeouts feels like a little bit of a high number for me against a really good Cubs lineup. So we're going to go less than 6 pitch of strikeouts for Spencer Strider, more than 5.5 pitch of strikeouts for Ranger Suarez. Michael King, less than 14.5 pitching outs tonight. Mike Schilt, you better not screw us and take this 15.
Nice little 10% payout boost. You see that?
We got a little 10%er.
It's available on Prize Picks for you. Just use promo code Fletch when you download the app. Hey, Sammy, rip through those real quick.
Ranger Suarez, more than 5.5 pitch of strikeouts. Spencer Strider, less than 6 pitch of strikeouts. Michael King, less than 14.5. Tyler's got Tyler likes on YouTube Emmett Sheehan over today for the Dodgers. Ooh. He has been pitching very well for the boys in blue up there recently. If you want
Taco Tuesday, he's discounted. Looks mighty tasty. That's what he's saying.
Oh, so should we add that?
Not only a Mexican treat, but a delicious.
Okay, well, we're gonna add it to ours. We have a Taco Tuesday where Emmett Sheehan only needs 4.5 strikeouts. So we're gonna add that to our long shots recap. Ranger Suarez, more than 5.5 pitch of strikeouts. Emmett Sheehan, that Taco, more than 4.5. Spencer Strider, less than 6 pitch of strikeouts. Michael King, less than 14.5 pitching outs.
I like it. All right, there's long shots for today. Hopefully we win some money. Need to reload the bankroll a little bit after a rough week 1 in football. Sammy, you did something to me on Friday, and I don't even know that you did it to me. Do you remember this conversation we had?
What did we have?
You chastised me about part of my NFL watching experience.
Oh, about not having Sunday Ticket.
I bought Sunday Ticket.
I was very proud of you. Texting me that over the weekend. I was very impressed with you.
First time in my life I've owned it personally. I've been in a household. I've lived in a household where we collectively owned it in college, and it was awesome. Sunday Ticket, the coolest thing mankind has ever done.
It's the greatest. It's one of 100%.
It's awesome. So my setup last weekend, I had the red zone going on the big TV, and then I had my laptop plugged into the secondary TV. And you could just click through every game. It's incredible.
Are you a fan of I was having a debate with some family members about this. Are you a fan of the quadruple box?
I don't hate it. I really don't. See, but my brain works for it. I don't mind being completely overstimulated. Like
yeah, that's what some people are complaining about. They're like, it's too much for me to focus on 4 games.
My wife sits in the same room as me on football Sunday. She has a fantasy football team too. She likes red zone, but that's just bouncing back and forth. And then they'll go to an octobox for a little bit.
Okay.
I like having 5 different games watching at the same time. You know what I mean? And I can kind of do that. She hates it so much. It gives her anxiety. It freaks her out. And like, if you talk to Ornberger about it, for years, he did the Sunday show with Steve Hartman up in LA. They called it Fox Sports Radio Red Zone. I think that's what they called it. And they would bounce around all the different touchdowns scored and everything. He didn't like it because it's too much anxiety. He liked watching just one game standalone. But for me, and I think it's basically the cutoff's probably like 32 years old and under. We can take it all.
This is an age thing.
I really think it is, because I think that certain generations, they grew up only having one game available to them at a time, or like the Fox and the CBS game, and that was it on Sunday. So you just picked one and you stuck with it. But me, I grew up with Red Zone.
You're kind of like a philosopher today.
I think so.
You got some takes.
You can I'll take off my Niner hat and I'll put on like a Dumbledore hat or something.
Texas 70470. Start your message with team. We want to know if you have one game. Your life depends on a team winning in the NFL this weekend. We need Circus Survivor. It cannot be the Cardinals. We burned them last week. please send us your pick. 70470. Start your message with team. We're going to read all the texts on the other side.
Like, I don't know the financial situation of a lot of people who are listening to the show, but Sammy and I both invested $500 in this.
We got a lot of money right in this.
That's like more money than I've spent on a mattress in my life. So we need this one to cash. And if we win, we're millionaires, and that'll help everyone out in this audience. I'm positive of it. It's San Diego Sports 760. Quick break here. Hour number 2 coming up next. Kevin Acee coming up in hour number 2. Right now, your opportunity to win some Billy Idol tickets along with Joan Jett. You could be screaming Mo, Mo, Mo all night long as Billy Idol and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts take the stage on September 23rd at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. If you want to win those tickets, give Sammy a call at 877-767-4760. Sammy is so cheery on the phone. He's really, really good at it. Call him right now. Caller number 7. You're winning the tickets. Hour 2 next.
This report is sponsored by the San Diego International Airport. Padres back tonight at 6:40 after winning on a walk-off last night. They're currently minus 190 on the money line. Michael King will be making his long-awaited re-debut against the Reds. And Jalen Carter, who spit on Dak Prescott in week 1, has been cleared to play per Ian Rappaport against the Chiefs on Sunday. Drew Rosenhaus's agent, they are working out the contract situation if there will be any fines with the Eagles. San Diego International Airport is getting an upgrade. The new Terminal 1 will arrive 2025, and with it, more space, places to dine and shop, and unique features like an outside terrace overlooking San Diego Bay. Check out all the upgrades at newt1.com.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
No fluff, just facts.
Walk-off magic at Petco. Keeping pace with the Dodgers. The Monday night game, just another classic for week 1.
Thielen in motion. McCarthy keeps. He's got it. And forces his way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Plus,
Everything I tried, lost. Everything I thought was going to happen, didn't happen outside of the Cardinals winning that game against the Saints, which was huge.
I'm smart and I want the steak.
I went 0 for 3 on straight bets.
For some reason, I thought Miami was going to cover the spread. That did not happen.
Nothing like that at all.
At the Lions money line, that was not kind to us.
Here's the snap to Love, throws right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Jaden Reed.
And the Ravens, I was like, oh, beautiful. We're going to cash this. That did not come through.
Oh, I'm a failure because I haven't got a brain.
we talk about it all in the Fletch Zone.
It's hour number 2 here on the Fletch Zone. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. We got a lot going on here. Kevin Acee is going to be jumping on the show coming up at 1:30. Congratulations to our buddy Brian, who just won those Billy Idol tickets.
Brian, man. Brian's the best, dude. He's stoked to go to the show.
Brian, I'm stoked for you to go to the show. That's what I'm talking about. He's going to cry mo, mo, mo. He really will. We asked the text line. We asked YouTube in hour number 1 to help us out because we are in the middle of this survivor pool. Big money on the line for me and Sammy. And we need a pick for week 2 because the picks that we initially had probably aren't going to work out anymore. So we put it out to you guys, and you have come through. Jamar on YouTube this week has a lot of tough matchups to predict. Might need to go with the Cowboys over Giants for the lock. Giants have no chance if they keep running dangerous out there.
I agree with that. I think it's a massive mistake. Shout out to Jamar. I think it's a massive mistake by Daboll to not be playing Jackson Dart.
But
Russell Wilson does not have it anymore.
Cowboys play against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
So if the Chiefs, God forbid, have some insane injury, don't we want to leave the Cowboys on the board in case we want to pick them on Thanksgiving?
So the Thanksgiving games are Cowboys, Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens, and then the morning game I believe is Packers, Lions.
I don't feel good about any of those.
Right. That's where like the biggest spread will. Obviously, there's going to be lots of injuries that happen between now and then. Would be the Chiefs over the Cowboys, so I'd look for them then. But
I almost don't want to touch any of those teams, so we have everything available to us at the time.
I think that's a good option.
So our guy Demi on YouTube says, "Boys, you all have to pick one winner on Thanksgiving and one winner on Christmas. Those are tough games. They are. But Demi, here's the way I kind of think about it in my head: the movie The Hunger Games." Right? They all start in an arena, and the arena doesn't really do all that much until the field shrinks down a little bit. But then they need to end this thing eventually. Otherwise, people are going to lose interest.
So who's Katniss?
So the arena starts to put the different little mutants out there and the dogs and the bees and all the different things that the arena is going to do to kill you so that the field gets narrowed down and they can finally have that final 1v1 matchup. By the time we get to Thanksgiving and Christmas, if there's still a ton of people in this pool, they need to start whittling down. Otherwise, the split's going to be between too many people.
You know what I say to this analogy?
Tell me.
You are so money and you don't even know it.
It's a good analogy, isn't it? It's pretty damn good. So yeah, Demi, we are going to have some tough decisions to make by that time. But hey, only one person survives the Hunger Games, and Sammy and I want to be the one people.
Unless it's the second one. Spoiler. 858 says Ravens over Browns. Lock it in. Listen, that's the biggest spread of the weekend. It started at 12.5. It's been bet down for the Browns now, or to 10.5. I do feel like that's a very solid one, but part of me doesn't really want to burn Baltimore. 619 says take Chargers. They play the Raiders as well. I would yes, if you had a gun to my head and to pick that game, I would pick the Chargers, but the Raiders do always play them tough. We don't know the Brock Bowers situation. And we don't want to wait till Monday night.
And the Raiders did look good. Like Geno Smith is a real quarterback they finally have. Our buddy Rich on YouTube, Rich McGuire, says Niners at Saints is a gimme, but we don't want to burn the Niners yet. I love that Rich feels like he's a part of this thing.
Hell yeah, Rich.
I love that word, Rich.
858 says Ravens should be an easy lock this weekend. Tough divisional game, but no way they don't play without a chip. 858 says you guys should pick the Saints this weekend. That's not happening.
Dude,
I'm
that's
sorry.
just foul is what that is. They're playing against the Niners. Even without Brock Purdy, like I'm pretty sure the Niners still win that game.
949, no way Bills lose to Jets, right? After that big win against a dominant team, the Ravens. Got to go Bills over Jets. That's a stay away for me because also we want to save the Bills. They're a very good team for down the stretch. And also the Jets look pretty good at home. Again, I would pick Buffalo, but I think there's safer bets on the board. 858 says Jalen Carter fined $57,000. Bad news for Sammy. The NFL doesn't want to take anything away from the Super Bowl rematch.
Oh, so everybody who went online and said Jalen Carter's for sure getting suspended after he spit on Dak Prescott, spit with a P, by the way, not suspended because they want to make sure the Eagles are loaded up for war.
I do have to respond to one thing, though. The NFL doesn't want to take anything away from the Super Bowl rematch. There is one receiver who, isn't playing that is perfectly healthy and is able to play.
Dude, if you're trying to make the argument for Rashee Rice to not be suspended 6 games.
I think you should let Jalen Carter play because we want to play the best. And I also think Rashee is a trade. Give us Rashee. You have Jalen Carter.
As high as Rashee Rice was when he wrecked that car. Allegedly. All right, let's get to the big three of hour number 2. Padres talk with Kevin Acee coming up in about 20 minutes. Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, will be on the show, and we'll ask all about Michael King and his pitch count for tonight. Can't wait to find out what that is. But Sammy takes us through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Oh, man. I'm already getting stressed about week 2, Sammy. I got pit sweat going right now. Our guy Demi is saying Miami was also bad. Do you pick the New England Patriots against Miami? We talked about that.
I would actually lean the other way.
So would I. Miami at home. This could be a revenge game.
I mean, Miami got flat out embarrassed. Now, Tyreek Hill, domestic violence accusations, what's going on? So it's a stay away. But if you were asking me, I know my guy, CJ Newton's going to kill me, who's our big sound guy, because he's a diehard Miami Dolphins fan, was clowning me that I bet them over the weekend.
I would lean Miami in this one too.
I would lean Miami.
Did you see, by the way, that Tyreek Hill trade odds have come out and the Chiefs and the Steelers are the 2 favorites? Steelers holding a slight edge over the Chiefs.
I saw it.
You want him back so bad.
Oh, yes.
God, you are sick. You're a sicko. That's what you are. What's our first story, Sammy?
We're going to go to college football. So the SEC has really struggled out of the gates here. Obviously, Texas losing to Ohio State. Kind of their first big win over the weekend was Oklahoma beating Michigan. They have 3 teams in the top 10. Is this long reported thing of the SEC being the most dominant conference in college football, has the Big Ten taken them over?
Now, okay, let's pause for a second because the SEC does have 11 teams in the top 25.
Yeah, and 3 in the top 10.
So it's kind of hard to argue that they've completely fallen off a cliff when 11 of the top 25 teams in the country are in their conference. I would say maybe not taken over, hold neck and neck. Sure. The Big Ten feels a little more top heavy right now than the SEC, where the SEC is good throughout. So I'm not going to say that the Big Ten has all of a sudden leapt over them, but maybe we're evening out into the 2 super conferences that we all predicted was going to happen.
I'm going to say it's the Big Ten's taken over. I mean, the Big Ten, Ohio State wins it last year. Michigan the year before. Look at the rankings right now. Ohio State number 1, beat Texas, SEC team. Penn State 2. LSU is the only SEC team that has really proven anything. They had that big win against Clemson. That's really the only team that's had a big win. You got Oregon there, Big Ten team at number 4. And then you go down, you got Georgia at 6, who beat Austin Peay by 3 scores. Like, that was an atrocious performance from them. Texas is number 7, all based on what we project. I mean, they obviously did not look very good against Ohio State. I get it. It was in Ohio. Tough game. We expect Arch Manning to keep growing and be better. But, I mean, even like go down the list. Like, you got Illinois from the Big Ten in there. You got SC, or Michigan's at 23. You got SC and Nebraska knocking on the door right outside the top 25. I just feel like this long-running thing of the SEC playing crap competition until the SEC title game when Alabama would beat Georgia, or Georgia beat Alabama, and then they're in. The expanded playoff is really evening the field, and it's cool seeing other conferences. The Big 12 having some success. And it's not just that nonsense that Paul Feinbaum would always spew about how it's the SEC and everyone else.
Feinbaum loves himself some SEC. What's next, Sammy?
Let's head back to the NFL. What matchup in week 2 are you most looking forward to with your first glance at the schedule?
Dude, I love the Thursday night game. The Thursday night game, Commanders at Packers. Both those teams have ridiculously exciting offenses. I think Green Bay's defense showed you a lot, and we'll see Micah Parsons' snap count tick up. He was in the 20s this week. I would expect him in the 30s next week. I love that game. Commanders, Packers, it's an excellent standalone game. Bears, Lions is a lot of fun. I think we're going to find out a lot about both of those teams. First of all, it's Ben Johnson's return to Detroit. This game's being played in Detroit. The Bears looked really good for a quarter yesterday and then gave up a huge lead in the fourth. Lions looked bad their entire game. So is Ben Johnson going to be able to go in there and dominate his old team? That would be pretty telling about the Detroit Lions. Or is this an evenly matched game, which is what I would expect it to be?
I like those. I'm going to go Jaguars Bengals. I'm really excited for that one at 10 a.m. because you can look at both 1-0. The Jags, and I actually bet them to go to the playoffs in Vegas. I'm very high on the Jags this year. I think they win that division. Kind of quiet. And a lot of people are talking about them after week 1. Had a really nice showing, had that weird kind of storm delay in the middle. And I get it. They beat the Panthers, who aren't a great team, but people were kind of high on the Panthers coming in this year, the way Bryce Young finished down the stretch. And then we turned the flip side, the Bengals. High expectations for them. And then what we thought was going to be the case, which is the offense is going to score a gazillion points and the defense is going to be awful, was completely the opposite in week 1. The offense was not very good, only put up 17 points, had 7 yards of offense in the second half, but the defense actually came through. But again, let's see the competition. Browns, Joe Flacco wasn't very good, at a couple turnovers there. I'm excited to see this game. Can Trevor Lawrence and the Jags make a big statement if they could beat the Bengals, kind of topple Joe Burrow? Because not that obviously he'd be better than Joe Burrow if he won that game, but the Jags are an interesting team because they have a lot of talent, and Trevor Lawrence was a guy that people talked about highly a couple of years ago, and the jury has just been completely out on them in the last while, which is fair because of how they played. I'm really excited for that game, and I think that one could be pretty good.
Now, neither of us said the Super Bowl rematch, Eagles-Chiefs in Kansas City. Do you think your Chiefs are falling to 0-2?
I think that they will play. I don't know if I'm ready to make a pick yet. I think that they will play with a lot more energy than they did in week 1. That was embarrassing what the Chiefs came with on Friday. I think
maybe they were potentially looking forward to the week 2 matchup, knowing they just got their asses kicked in the Super Bowl.
Well, maybe. I think that's kind of embarrassing if that is the Chiefs, because you had an offseason of 7 months, people talking crap on you, and you didn't come out and shut any of that up, and you didn't take a Charger team very seriously who has played you tough in recent years. Now, the receivers not being there is a massive problem with Rashid. Worthy's day-to-day, but I highly doubt he's not going to play. I do think at home everyone will be jacked up. The defense will be much better. So I'm not ready to give a pick yet, but I am excited for that.
All right, let's squeeze one more in.
All right, let's head to the Padres. Michael King making his re-debut tonight. What are your expectations for him tonight, and how do you think he'll perform?
Re-debut, I like that word. I just want Michael King to go out there, and I do think you're right, Sammy. I do think he ends up going less than 5 innings. I want Michael King to go out there, A, come out of this game healthy, B, show some signs that he is the dude on the pitching staff who is going to be a serious part of this postseason rotation. And all I need for that, few strikeouts, don't give up too many runs, get this game into the 5th inning, let the bullpen take over. And let's be honest, if a Padres pitcher gets into the 5th inning, they're doing a lot better than most Padres starting pitchers have been doing over the last month. So get to the 5th. You can come out after 4 and let the bullpen take over the rest of the way. Leave this game healthy and don't sleep on whatever mattress hurt you last time.
Totally. And this is a big game tonight because getting that second victory over the Reds is massive, because you take away any real chance, unless the Padres just bottom out the next 2 weeks, which I don't think they will, of the Reds really catching you. So it's a big game. We're going to see Michael King is extremely crucial. We've been harping on it because Nick Pivetta has been the only guy you could really trust in this rotation recently. And, maybe Dylan Cease could pop in the playoffs. Maybe Yu Darvish could. We've obviously seen them do it before, but it's tough over the long season that we've had so far to really have much faith in that. Michael King is that one wild card. You lose Jason Adam in the bullpen. Maybe Michael King coming back is a big boost for this team. But it's funny how we can get into this maybe next or whenever we get the Padres next. It's funny how the Dodgers rotation is like the opposite of last year. The Dodgers rotation is fantastic, but the bullpen's an abject disaster. And then the Padres bullpen is phenomenal. And then the starting rotation you have major concerns with. It's funny how that matchup, if they were to go, would play out in a series.
Kevin Acee at 1:30 coming up next. A player we didn't have on our radar, who now we all have on our radar. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760, and we congratulate all of our $5,000 winners in iHeartRadio's Think a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference, and maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators who are shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/careers. Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, is going to be joining us right at 1:30 for his weekly appointment. We got a lot to talk about with Michael King re-debuting, as Sammy said, for this season, with about 4 starts left to go for Michael King. About 18 games left to go in the regular season. Padres with the division still very much in sight. What does Kevin see needing to happen over the next couple of weeks for them to maybe take home the 1 seed in the National League West? All right, let's get into it. A player that after week 1 was not on our radar heading into the season, but is filling up the radar right now. And I'm just going to say the wide receiver for Tampa Bay should be off the board because I think that that's the easy pick, right?
I thought you were going to go with him. That's why I didn't.
I really like him. Tell me his name again.
Emeka Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka. I got to lock that in somehow.
Is this like instead of Ibuka, it's Egbuka.
Egbuka. All right, we'll lock that in. But he is awesome. And he had 2 touchdowns for the Bucs. If you had him in fantasy football, congratulations. But I'm looking somewhere else. And I'm actually looking at a player who was a punchline coming into this season. But after week 1, he is firmly on the radar and played amazing, broke some records, actually. The quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, Daniel Jones, who beat out Anthony Richardson for the job, all of a sudden has the Colts looking like a potential playoff team this year. And it's week 1, so let's not get too crazy.
Yeah, let's relax on playoffs.
But Daniel Jones had the most impressive performance to me and got on my radar in a big way after week 1. Daniel Jones is my guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure Giants fans are very frustrated right now, but again, I've been very high on Jackson Dart. But yes, he did look very good against the Dolphins.
Talk about calm, cool, collected. Every time he touched the ball, it ended in points for the Indianapolis Colts. I don't care who you're playing against. The Dolphins look terrible, yes, but that's an NFL team you're playing against. It's an NFL defense in week 1, ready to go and healthy, that he made look like fools.
Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm not cheating. I've been on this guy. I've been vocal about this, but Trevor Lawrence, I really feel like was written off too soon. I mean, this is a guy who was talked about as a top 10 quarterback, as a guy who won at Clemson. He was one of the most surefire number 1 picks we've had in recent memory in years, considering what he did in college, and got completely written off. And I think a lot of it is due to what they have done in Jacksonville. They overpaid Christian Kirk. They drafted Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson. There's been a lot that has gone into that whole organization and why they've struggled over the years. I think they finally got it right with Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas is picking up right where he left off. I'm excited about him. For a rookie that I think is going to pop up.
Wait, so Trevor Lawrence wasn't on people's radar coming in and now he is? Is that what you're saying?
I think people totally wrote him off.
For 178 passing yards, for 60% completion percentage.
You've been saying all offseason that he's equivalent to Daniel Jones. He was ranked in the NFL poll as the 19th best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, Daniel Jones was 10 times better than him in week 1. It's not like Trevor Lawrence had a stellar week 1 to talk about.
Says Colts playoffs. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? Jim Mora.
Yeah.
Solid pull.
Yeah. I just don't know that Trevor Lawrence turned any heads in a huge way in week 1.
Well, he's going to. So just stay ready.
Look, I hope you're right. He's on my dynasty.
And then
team.
I'm gonna go with a rookie, that Dylan Sampson. He only had 29 yards rushing.
10 for 10 receiving.
Yes. He had 64 yards receiving. I think he's going to have an exaggerated role. I was very high on him out of Tennessee. He's a very good player. He didn't steal the headlines in the offseason outside of kind of fantasy football deep sleepers leagues, because Quinshon Judkins was taken number 2 in the 2nd round out of Ohio State. He was the big name, won a national championship. A lot of people knew him. But Dylan Sampson, I think, is really good, was really underrated at Tennessee, and looks like he could be a massive performer for the Browns up there in Cleveland.
Now, as of 55 minutes ago, it sounds like Quinshon Judkins is expected to practice tomorrow. Does that change anything with Dylan Sampson and his role with the team?
I think he's better than Judkins.
Who did they cut? They cut somebody. I wonder.
And then if you're a fantasy football player and you're looking for a deep sleeper, Bashul Tutton, the 6th round draft pick. Yeah. For the Jags, they just traded Bigsby to the Eagles, so
good
it's only
pickup for the Eagles.
Only thing, it's a good gift for them. But only they got ETN in him now. Tutton is going to have a featured role in this offense.
The Browns just cut Travion Williams, who was their 3rd string running back without Quinshon Judkins, and now that he's back, Williams is gone. Judkins is back. I wonder what that's going to look like with Ford, Judkins, and Sampson. I thought Sampson looked incredible week one as a rookie. All right, quick break here. Kevin Acee on the other side, our Padres insider. We'll go through everything we need to know about Michael King ahead of his re-debut tonight against the Reds. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. It's Fletch for Gary Cooper over at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. You can give Gary a call today at 858-376-1299. Make sure you let him know that I sent you. But Gary is with us here today. And Gary, last Friday, we got some pretty good news regarding interest rates.
You are correct. We had a nice little drop on the 10-year bond, which is the benchmark for long-term interest rates. And there was a nice drop on Friday. I'll give you an example of today's pricing because I know we hear this stuff all over the radio and TV. But to be perfectly clear, if you think that rates are hearing that rates are in the 4% range, it's not correct. You will be paying points to buy down to get that gimmick or that advertised rate. But let me give you a quick example. If you were doing a home purchase, $1 million home, putting 20% down, making your loan amount $800,000, and you have 780 or greater credit scores, the true market par rate as of right now that we're talking is at 6.359, and that's exactly where the national average is. It was all over the news even this morning that the national average is right around 6.3. So that would be your interest rate. The APR on that would be 6.45 approximately, but that's where the 30-year fix is. Now, if your credit scores are lower or you're not putting as much money down, then that will affect your interest rate and pricing of your loan.
If you want to lock that in, give Gary Cooper a call, 858-376-1299. He will take care of you at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Give Gary Cooper a call today, 858-376-1299, or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. Thank you, Gary.
This board is sponsored by Allstate. The Padres will be back tonight at 6:40 after getting a walk-off win yesterday against the Cincinnati Reds. 6:40. Padres currently minus 190 on the money line. Zach Little will be going for the Reds, while Michael King will be going for the Padres. And the big news out of the day at the NFL, star tight end for the 49ers, George Kittle, has been placed on the IR and will miss at least 4 games. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you. With Allstate, now one is based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
San Diego Sports 760. Every Tuesday, we chat with our best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, on the beat of the San Diego Padres for the San Diego Union Tribune. Hello, Kevin. Good afternoon. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
You sound fantastic. You really do, and you always do, Kevin. That's what we appreciate about you. Michael King making his re-debut tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. I know there was some simulated games at Petco Park. He played against the Padres single A team. He, Thursday pitched 5 innings against minor leaguers in the Arizona Bridge League. What do you think we should be expecting from Michael King tonight in terms of innings pitched, pitch count, anything like that?
Well, expectations are the enemy of satisfaction. So let's just say you expect 4 innings and he keeps you in the game. Let's just say that, because the guy has not faced major league hitters in a game situation, that adrenaline, all that stuff. Is Michael King capable of a good, solid 5 innings and absolutely setting the Padres up to win? Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. No matter what Michael King says, and Michael King is the greatest in terms of like competition, what he did last year to become a starter. Heck, he showed a little bit of Joe Musgrove in him when, a lot last year, but this year when he sort of not hid his knee, but thought, hey, I can play through this. I'll deal with 4 days of pain. I can do it. And like the guy's a competitor, but if the reality is it's been 3 months since he pitched against major league hitters.
How would you assess the bullpen since the Jason Adam injury? You think they've held up pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm throw Coors Field out. Absolutely. Jeremiah Estrada goes through some things sometimes where he gives up hits. This year, a little bit of walk sometimes, but any team would kill to have him as their first guy out of the bullpen. I think it's been fantastic. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, bullpens are volatile, man. I think that for a team that lost Jason Adam, I think this team's set up pretty well.
I mean, it's great to have one, and if you don't have one, you're pretty much screwed. So the Padres have one, and that's great news heading into the postseason. Kevin, ESPN did this big article, not sure if you saw it, where they were talking about real or not real when it comes to different teams and their biggest obstacle to winning a World Series. And the one for the Padres, which I think we all know, is lack of power. Do the Padres not have enough power in this lineup to win a World Series?
That's certainly possible, man. Been banging that drum all year, and I think, could be. Look, the way they won last night is the way that they win. And, they got all these, names on the back of jerseys that you expect to be in the 20s in home runs now and even pushing toward the 30s, but they're not doing it this year. And now a guy who's super important, you could argue the most important, and who generally at the end of the year, it's when he's really at his best, looks horrible. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm guessing Manny Machado, who was 0 for 4 again last night.
Horrible. Like, now it's leaked into his usual slump, which is chasing bad pitches. But to me, more troubling was he was missing more of the pitches that he should and would do damage on when he's locked in, and it just hasn't happened. So, like I said, I throw out almost everything at Coors Field. Like, other than maybe getting guys in the right mindset because they felt good about, what happened there, I just throw it out. And so, Manny has been awful. Now, I could say those things because they're true, but also because I do think he's the most important. I do give him credit for basically carrying the team to, their 3 postseason appearances in the last 5 years. Last year got more help than he had the previous 2, but that's the guy. And fortunately, give Schilt credit, give AJ Preller credit, give the rest of the players credit. They have more of a full roster that they can overcome it. But like, it's a big deal, Manny slumping right now.
Padres sitting in that second wild card right now could obviously move up or down or take the division. In your mind, what matchup in the first round do you think would be most favorable for the Padres in the NL?
The Giants. Win the division and have the Giants get there. They cannot keep playing 800 baseball, and the Padres won 8 of 13. So that's the one. The Reds. Have the Padres win the division and get the 6-seeded Reds. Like I think the Padres could go to the World Series, could win the World Series. I also think that, like, Cubs are tough. The Brewers pitching is tough. I mean, we're talking about the Padres offense right now. I think they match up better with the Cubs. There isn't a, what's his name? Mizorowski? I mean,
Jacob Mizorowski. The Miz, if you will.
Like that. That's a little worrisome. Freddie Peralta knows how to pitch and pitch well against them and everybody else. Like, I mean, the Brewers are tough, man. Got to get through them at some point. Look, winning the division, and I don't think at this point, what do you got to make up? Is it like 5 games or something, 4 games to get a bye? Like, even the NL West winner right now is playing in the wild card round. So get that 30th seed and play somebody who, just got in. That could backfire because the Mets could get super hot like 2 days before the postseason and go on another one of their heaters, and you're playing the Mets and they take you. But there could not be more difference between the final Sunday of the regular season and Tuesday of wild card round. Like, who knows? But that's my take.
Kevin, I'm not sure that you know what you just said, but you essentially just said that the Padres, to make it to the World Series, need to miss the Brewers, Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, and Mets, which are the other 5 teams currently in playoff position, in order to get to the World Series.
I said they need to miss them. But what
you said Giants and Reds are the best case scenario. They're not in the playoffs.
Yes, but there's time. The Mets are trying to give this thing away, like, since, their heater in end of July or early August or something. Like, I mean, it's been a long time. Look, I'm like, that's the nature of it. Like, this game is absurd. Baseball's absurd. You guys go ahead and I'll keep playing along, predicting things for the postseason, but this game is absurd.
It's a 162 game season. It's way too long. So many different things could happen. You have to break the season essentially into how you do every 20 games, which is the only way to look at it and be somewhat reasonable. All right, let's talk about Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr., who both appear to at least be turning some sort of corner. I mean, we're all celebrating a sac fly essentially just because of the time that it happened. But it does look like, I guess, a little bit they're both turning a corner. Does it look like that's you too?
Gosh, I think maybe. I mean, again, throw out Coors Field, but Tatis had 2 homers before that in a short amount of time, relatively short amount of time. Merrill has had some hits. He's a guy I think of when I say, hey, if Coors Field made you feel better about your swing and just more confident going to the plate, then more power to you. So that's a, maybe. I mean, that's the kind of season it's been, though. I would say Tatis has been pretty good. I don't know if you saw like the chart, just the idea. Merrill called Gavin Sheets the MVP. Now, he loves Gavin Sheets. Their lockers are next to each other. He quickly said, and Manny has been on fire. And so I don't know that either one of those statements he made were true, but it got me thinking about who's the MVP of this team. Well, who do you guys say?
I mean, I might say Gavin Sheets if I'm being completely honest.
Laureano.
Okay.
Laureano for sure since the trade deadline.
That's not the question. But if that's your answer, I mean, that would be my point is, like, who's the MVP of this team? Like, there are no wrong answers at this point. Take a look at what Jake Cronenworth has done. Now, I'm not saying he's the MVP. He isn't my MVP. It's probably Manny Machado when it all comes down to it, unless he doesn't get a hit the rest of the season. But, like, yeah, you know who it could be? For all the griping and for as disappointing as his power production could be, there is an absolute argument for Fernando Tatis Jr. being the MVP of the team this year.
Yeah, because you look at his numbers, Kev, and really the only number that is the bugaboo here is power. Like it's just he's not hitting home runs. He's not hitting any extra base hits at his normal rate, but he's walking more than he ever has. His on base percentage is good enough. So I get what you're saying, and your article a couple of weeks ago I thought put that in perspective for me, and I've been bitching and moaning about Fernando all year. But you had that article that said, look, the only thing that's really off about his game is he's not hitting 40 home runs. But when Fernando and Manny are combined for 43 home runs, that's a serious red flag for me.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to live at, yes. And so I'm not trying to like discount that or say we shouldn't be thinking, well, that's what the Padres are paying for. But like, you know what? If Mookie Betts had been worth a darn this year, the Padres wouldn't be anywhere near the Dodgers. So like, it's not just the Padres. What is the makeup of this team? How has this team challenged 90 wins this year? And who's the personification of that? It might be Fernando Tatis Jr.
Back to what you said about Manny Machado struggling recently. We've known he goes on these kind of slumps. Do you think this is just one of these, or is this more concerning ahead of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean the proximity, like I said, the nature of it, with him missing a lot of pitches he should hit, which sometimes that happens too. I mean, when Manny sees the ball, Manny hits the ball. When Manny doesn't, then he looks like he looks now. So I want to, sort of err on the side of being cautious and, rational about this and say, hey, look, we've seen this before. We generally haven't seen it August, September. That's his hot time. But, there's still time. I'm 100% with Fletch on the 20 games. When you get down to this point of the season, though, we might be to 10 or 6 games, like where you judge, because you're then going into the postseason where it's these little chunks. And so there's still time. There really is. I mean, the Padres could win their next 10 games and go in and then still sort of back in the playoffs. Think about that. Like their last 8 games, they could be playing for something and they could stink and we'd be like, oh my gosh. And we would forget about the fact that they went on a 10-game winning streak in the middle of September. Like that's the point in the season we're at. So yeah, I think it's concerning. I do. I mean, that's why I made a big deal out of it for a couple minutes. But again, we've seen this from him before.
Yeah, and usually anytime I say anything demonstrative about Manny Machado, usually the very next day he kicks off like a 20-game streak where he's the best player in baseball. So that's always the risk we run with.
We've all had that experience because that's the player he is, where like at any moment he's going to start that.
Right. All right, Kev, we appreciate your time. I'm worried that you're not getting enough sleep. I really am. I think you had an article come out very, very late last night and then a 6 a.m. article this morning. So try to prioritize Kevin a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I slept till 11, so it's all right.
Yeah, no, you don't text me back, you jerk. All right, love you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
Oh, we have fun when we chat with Kevin Acee. I promise you, that's the type of statement when he said, the exact words he was, Manny Machado has looked horrible. I think those were the exact words. Manny is going to hit 2 home runs tonight. Mark it. Take it to the bank. Maybe throw that in long shots.
Well, he better. I mean, what Kevin Acee's saying is 100% real.
Yeah,
like
man,
it's Machado gets the benefit of the doubt. To some degree, he's earned it. To some degree, he hasn't. In terms of he does come out of these slumps, but it is alarming how close to the postseason this is happening. Usually, this is in July, August, something like that. So we'll see. Obviously, the Padres, like that article said, Tatis and Machado got to be Tatis and Machado at their peaks if they want to be real contenders in the postseason.
All right, we're going to close this thing out. Coming up next, John and Jim are right after that. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch, FLETCH. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Now, for tonight's action, Sammy and I got Ranger Suarez going with more than 5.5 pitcher strikeouts, Spencer Strider less than 6 pitcher strikeouts, and Michael King less than 14.5 pitching outs. That took about 45 seconds to put into the Prize Picks app. That's all it takes. It's quick, it's easy, it's fun. You can build your lineup in under a minute while you're settling on the couch, getting ready for whatever game it is you're going to watch. And today you can download the Prize Picks app. And if you use promo code Fletch, make yourself a $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 for free. So download the Prize Picks app today. It's the best spot in California to get real sports action. Withdrawals are all fast, safe, and secure. You can go with Venmo, Apple Pay, many other options as well as direct to your bank options. Join the millions of people who are already playing on Prize Pick. Join the tens and tens of thousands of Fletch Zone listeners who are already playing Prize Picks, and join in on the billions of dollars that have already been awarded in winnings on Prize Picks. It is always good to be right. So download the app, use promo code Fletch, and you can run your game on Prize Picks. San Diego Sports 760 tomorrow night, 6 o'clock right here. It's SDFC Midweek Live. Here from the head coach, Mikey Varis, as well as interviews with players and coaches. Find out the latest club and MLS information. SDFC Midweek Live tomorrow, 6 o'clock right here on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. They are hitting the home stretch of their season, man. We are pretty close to October, which is MLS Cup playoff time, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be a lot of fun. They were the first team in the league to clinch a spot, and they certainly do not seem to be slowing down anytime soon. All right, we got to catch up on some of these YouTube comments. Our buddy Demi saying, Circa Survivor is just winners, not spread, right? Yes, it is pure money line. We are desperate for a week 1 pick. And he also said, stay away from Dallas because of holiday games. He picked Baltimore over Cincy this week.
Well, that's the biggest spread. Like, yeah, if we're like just trying to advance this week, that's the safest, but it's a little...
But it's also a divisional matchup.
Yeah, I don't worry about that. They're gonna beat the living crap out of them. I just don't like to burn Baltimore so early.
Yeah, me neither. I like our thought on Rams over Titans, even though it's in Tennessee.
But do we want to burn the Rams this early?
See, that's why I still don't really hate the Niners over the Saints, because if Brock Purdy plays, you feel like that's an easy walkover win. And
okay,
I'm fine. Well, no, burning the Niners this early might make sense because everyone's hurt and everyone's gonna keep getting hurt.
But this is not a heart pick.
I know this is, you actually brought this pick up.
I did when they're healthy, but now that Kittle's out, Purdy's dealing with a toe. What do you got? A toe injury?
Toe and a left shoulder.
Like that does on the road. I don't know if that's all of a sudden a safe pick. I feel like we could pick the Niners down the road and that would be safer considering the soft schedule. This is tough. Circa's making it hard. We love Circa, and this is the grind that starts.
Yeah, I'm sweaty already.
Do you know they can offer buyouts? Like someone can, like if we get to like week 9, someone can pay us a bunch of money.
Like somebody else in the pool?
No, like someone can buy our survivor pool.
Really?
So if we're like 9 weeks in and we're like, someone could offer like $5 million to buy us out if there's only a few left.
I think we're taking that money.
So we'll take some offers.
Really do.
So we got any like Rancho Santa Fe people out there listening?
Anybody that lives on the Bing Crosby course up in North County, San Diego.
Yeah. Rancho Santa Fe, La Jolla. If you're listening out there, you want to buy us out a weekend, feel free.
Hit us up. $5 million. I think that's the starting number. I don't think I'm accepting a penny less. All right. Before we get out of here, we talk a lot of smack about one Jim Russell on this very radio show. We love him to death. We really do. Did you see Jim Russell was the highest point scorer in our company fantasy football league in week 1?
Oh no, he was?
At Jim's team, which is called I Suck at Fantasy Football, is the number 1 team in our iHeart Fantasy Football League.
Why isn't Schaefer in it?
Schaefer doesn't care about fantasy football.
Yeah. We'll see if he's chirping about it.
He might be.
Jim will get a little attitude here in a week or two if he's like 3-0.
If he keeps going like this, he will. And you got a nice win over Rich Ornberger in week 1.
Yes, Dom and I, we had to take down the big fella. Sorry, Rich, we love you, but you take that out.
Rich, who was the only person in our league who auto drafted, but nice, good win week 1. You need to get
he was the guy that was holding up our draft, taking 2 hours because he was doing the whole 2 minutes.
You needed to get off to a good start after last year where you guys came in dead last.
Don't disrespect Dom and I.
All right, that's about it for us today. If you missed that Kevin Acee interview, it was a good one, man. We talked a lot about Manny Machado and the struggles he's had this season, which means for sure Manny Machado is about to start off on a hot streak. So you're welcome, San Diego. We did that. We also talked about Michael King and his re-debut tonight and how he's going to do, what restrictions are on him. So find that on the podcast a little bit later on. Sammy and I are out of here. We will be back with you tomorrow. John and Jim are coming up next. Have a great day, everybody. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.